Okay. Should we begin? All the Ukrainian delegations are out here. Sophia?
Yes, Dinesh, all are present.
Perfect. Australian delegation for observation, all are here, right?
We're
Okay,
here, sir.
perfect. And okay, Renuka ma'am, host, Indian delegation. Let's begin then. Yeah. Muskan, you can take over.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, distinguished guests, respected educators, and fellow students. I am Muskan Jaisinghani, and it is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you all on behalf of Ashoka Group of Schools, an institution that strives not only for academic excellence but also for nurturing global citizens who value empathy, intercultural dialogue, and unity in diversity. Today, as we come together to commemorate the United Nations International Friendship Day, we are reminded of the profound role that friendship plays in shaping a more peaceful and inclusive world. This occasion serves as a powerful reminder that friendship is not limited by geography, language, or background. It is a universal bridge that promotes peace, fosters dialogues, and strengthens cooperations across borders. India, a land of profound cultural diversity and ancient wisdom, has always embraced the spirit of unity through difference. Guided by the timeless principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means that the world is one family. We believe in fostering global harmony through mutual respect and understanding. Programs like this cultural exchange reflect that very spirit, helping us nurture a generation that is globally aware, empathetic, and enriched by the perspectives, traditions, and experience of others. As we commence this program, not only to celebrate friendship, but to forge meaningful connections, let us do so with open minds and open hearts. So, let's come together, not just as students or representatives of different cultures, but as friends, ready to learn, share, and grow together. Let the spirit of friendship guide today's celebration. Thank you. To truly embark upon this momentous occasion, we are honored to be joined by our remarkable guests of honors who personify the spirit of global solidarity and peace. To begin with, we are proud to introduce our Indian guest of honor, Ms. Renuka Joshi, Principal of Ashoka Universal School, Ashoka Mark Campus, Nasik. May I warmly invite Ms. Renuka Joshi to address the gathering.
Namaste, Dobri Den, Vitayu from India. I am deeply honored to join this online celebration of International Friendship Day, which brings together the young minds' voices from India and Ukraine. A heartfelt thank you for organizing this, Dr. Dide Sabnis sir and his co-delegates for this particular occasion. Let me begin with a quote from Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, who says, "Depth of friendship does not depend on length of acquaintance. We may be part apart, we may be miles apart, but we are together, our hearts are together. Our geopolitical situations, our challenges may be different altogether today, but we all have similar hearts and we are here to celebrate friendship." I would share a small story. This story is during the evacuation time in 2022. There was a young little girl who was in Ukraine. She was Indian. And suddenly the evacuation started. Operation Ganga was the name of it. And during this evacuation, all the students, Indian students, the students from other nationals, they were asked to leave Ukraine. The same thing happened with this little girl. She was asked to leave, evacuate the buildings. She was staying in a particular hostel in a town called as Kiwi. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it correct or not, but there was a town where she was residing and she was asked to leave. But this little girl was not moving out. The entire place was evacuated. The buildings nearby were evacuated. The building where she was staying was still there. The entire day she stayed, the night she stayed, and the next day she packed her luggage and she was moving. The authorities asked there that why are you leaving? Why you waited for entire day? She said, I had a Ukrainian roommate and she had a small daughter. I wanted that they should board for their village safely. And when they evacuated last night, they boarded the train. I am relieved. And that's why I am moving today and not with my friends yesterday. The authorities said that you risked your life for a roommate. And then this little Indian girl told them that it was not a roommate. She was not my roommate, but she was my sister. So what a deep, thought was given by this little girl, telling that everyone, whether it's like any national, they all are our friends together. They are universal brotherhood was exhibited by this. It's a true story. That reminds us that we cannot be apart from passports and visas. We are quite together. So let's come together, cherish our differences, celebrate our similarities, and come together for dialogue. Let not this day start and end over today. Let this day embark new beginning where new dialogue comes up between two great nations, India and Ukraine. Let's show this world that when we come together, when students and educators, they come together, the world starts healing. So on this note, I would like to end up, and what we feel here in Ashoka, that global citizen, every child, every student has a potential to become a global citizen. Only he should have that spark. He should understand that peace is the most important thing. He should embrace the diversity, and definitely world can be a big, large family to us. On this note, I would like to end, and all the best to all the delegates, and may all you present very well today. Dhanyavad, Dakayuyu. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such inspiring words. Moving ahead, we feel deeply privileged to welcome our guest of honor from Ukraine, Mr. Serhiy Samoilov, UN Peacekeeper, veteran, and chairman of the board, Union of UN Peacekeepers, Kharkiv, Ukraine. Sir, we kindly request you to please share a few words with us on this special occasion.
Hello, dear participants of our online conference decided to UN Friendship Day. Today we have united representative of 5 countries and 3 continents. It's very important to study the experience of previous civilizations to really on human rights. Keep this on core in your worldwide using in communication. This is how you can achieve more success in building permanent peace on years. With the people of the United Nations, serve in the name of our common goals, peace, cooperation, and peacemaking. Good luck for everyone, and civilization go on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your thoughts and presence. Moving ahead, we have with us a special international guest, Ms. Mariam Zornikin, coordinator at United for Human and Youth for Human Rights Belgium. We warmly welcome you and request you to enlighten us with your thoughts.
Thank you very much for your invitation to welcome the guests here on this conference. I think International Friendship Day is an important day and a very good opportunity to unite people. And it's an honor for me to welcome you and to speak to all the students, because the students are the future of us all and of the world. So as a coordinator of a human rights educational program for youth, it is my purpose and intention to encourage young people to study human rights and to share these values. And as described in the International Declaration of Human Rights, as it is and as it can be shared, the world would look like a much better place. Unfortunately, human rights are not known enough and are certainly not respected enough. So it is a very good opportunity to rekindle this purpose. And while some forces are trying to divide the world, it's even more important to cast this aside and to continue and to strengthen our intentions to unite and uphold the values that promote human dignity and respect. And Brussels is a city where we have 189 nations, nationalities living together. And we see that when we organize activities that unite people, we can achieve a lot of things. So I wish you a very good conference, and the program Youth for Human Rights is available online, and you can contact me if you want.
Thank you, dear guests, for your heartfelt messages. We are deeply honored to have your presence among us today. With that said, let us now proceed to the heart of this program, the student presentations, which reflect our united vision and mutual understanding. First up, we have presentations on culture and traits, a glimpse into the traditions, values, and lifestyles that shape our identities. Representing the Indian delegation, we have the students of Ashoka Group of Schools, AGA Campus, Nasik. We welcome the team to begin their presentation.
Full screen, please. Full screen, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all the respected delegates and my dear friends from across the globe. My name is Srishti Zakti and I'm truly honored to represent Ashoka Group of Schools, the AGA branch, India on this UN International Friendship Day celebration. Today I want to share with you all how India has nurtured international friendship not just today but even 1,000 years ago during medieval times. Long before the world spoke of globalization, India was already connecting cultures, hearts, and ideas from the continents. Let me take you on a quick journey through time. My first slides show two figures, Gautam Buddha and Ashoka Chakravarti, the great emperor of medieval times. My first slide show Gautam Buddha. As we all know, Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, a religion which speaks of non-violence and cultivation of brotherhood amongst the people to foster a peaceful existence and thus attain enlightenment. And Ashoka Chakravarti, the great emperor of medieval India, horrified by the violence perpetuated by his troops in the conquest of the kingdom of Kalinga in 2061 BCE, volunteeringly renounced violence and adopted Buddhism. During his rule, he encouraged Buddhist monks to travel to China, Japan, Tibet, and Southeast Asia to spread the gospel of Buddha. These monks didn't just teach religion, they built bridges of compassion, thus spreading values that brought people from different parts of the world closer. My next slide shows the great Chola Empire from South India. Between the 9th and 13th centuries, doing the trades with China, Thailand, and Indonesia. Further, Indian ports during the medieval period welcomed traders from Persia, Arabia, and Africa. Our spices, textiles, and ideas were shared generously, and peaceful coexistence became the norm. We traded with gifts to the kings across the borders, trade agreements, and a desire for cooperation. Isn't that a beautiful example of soft power? The next slide reflects the Mughal era. Emperors like Akbar and Jahangir exchanged luxurious gifts with ambassadors from England, Persia, and Portugal. These were more than royal tokens, they were messages of friendship and goodwill. And let's not forget the power of knowledge. India's contribution in mathematics, medicine, and philosophy reached the Arab world and beyond. Before I end, I'd like to share how Indian classical dance continues to build bridges even today. In January 2024, a festival of Kathak dance for India US friendship was held, celebrating ties between the two nations through graceful storytelling and rhythm. More recently, the 37th Kathak Mahotsav 2025 in New Delhi welcomed artists from around the world, including Thailand, proving that dance can cross the borders and speak the universal language of friendship. In addition, in 2025, students from Ashoka Group of Schools performed Kathak piece in front of the Princess of Tuscany in Vienna, Austria. Our arts, music, and literature influence distant lands like Bali and Thailand, proving that culture speaks a universal language of friendship. So, dear friends, friendship is not new to India. It is in our roots, our stories, our traditions, going back centuries. We believe that true friendship is about sharing, respecting, and uplifting each other, just like India did and continues to do. Let's celebrate these timeless bonds and keep building a future of peace, unity, and mutual respect.
Greetings to all respected delegates and my dear friends from across the globe. I am Geet Poddar, a high school student from India from Ashoka Group of Schools. I am truly honored to share this virtual stage with all of you as we celebrate International Friendship Day. Friendship is not just a feeling between two people, it's a powerful connection between communities and countries. And I would like to continue from where my schoolmate Miss Shrishti ended. How India continues to embrace the spirit of friendship through real actions into the 21st century. Let me begin with the vaccine Maitri, which means vaccine friendship. During the COVID 19 pandemic, India sent over 200 million vaccine doses to nearly 100 countries, most of them free of cost. Our neighbors like Bhutan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, as well as countries in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, received vaccines when they needed them the most. This gesture made India known as the pharmacy of the world. Next, in moments of disaster, India has always stepped up as a true friend. In 2004, when the tsunami struck several Asian nations, India sent help to Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Maldives, even while recovering from tragedy ourselves. More recently, during the massive earthquake in Turkey and Syria in 2023, India launched Operation Dost, sending medical teams, rescue swords, and supplies to these countries. Whether it is flood relief or evacuating civilians from war zones like the Ukraine, India has shown that friendship is about standing together, especially in the times of crises. India also believes in connecting through culture and heritage. We have hosted celebrations like Namaste India, Festival of India, and Friendship Days in countries like Thailand, Vietnam, South Korea, and Mongolia. India has shared ancient manuscripts, Buddhist relics, and restored temples as a gift of peace and respect. This kind of culture diplomacy reminds us that friendship can be built through music, stories, and even shared history. And in dangerous situations, India has not only protected its own citizens but also civilians from other nations. Operations like Vande Bharat, Operation Ganga, and Operation Kaveri were massive evacuation missions during the pandemic, the Ukraine conflict, and also the Sudan unrest. We flew people home, no matter where they came from, because helping others is at the very heart of true friendship. To conclude, India's message to the world is clear. We believe in compassion, cooperation, and cultural connection, not through power or politics, but through kindness and action. As young people and future leaders, let's take the spirit forward and create a world where friendship is the very foundation for peace and progress. Jai Hind.
Happy International Friendship Day.
Thank you, team. And now, representing Ukraine, we have the delegation from Lyceum 55, Kharkiv. We invite you to take over and present your perspectives.
Это даже не скрывать. Hello everyone, my name is Victor and today I would like to tell you about Ukrainian culture and what makes it so special and unique. Ukrainian culture is rich, colorful and very old. It has developed over many centuries and has been shaped by different people, religions and traditions. Because of Ukraine's location between East and West, our culture has always been influenced by both European and Asian customs, and that's exactly what makes it so interesting and unique. Hmm. One of the most important things in our culture is the connection to tradition and nature. Ukrainians have always lived close to the land, and farming was a big part of everyday life. That's why many of our customs and holidays are related to the seasons and agriculture. For example, we celebrate Ivana Kupala night in summer by jumping over campfires and dancing near rivers. It comes from ancient beliefs about love, water, and nature. Another beautiful tradition is Christmas caroling. Groups of people go from house to house, sing traditional songs, and wish people happiness and good luck. These traditions are still alive today, especially in villages and among young people who want to keep our culture strong. Now I want to tell you about something very important, about Ukrainian folklore. Our folklore includes fairy tales, legends, myths, songs, proverbs, and riddles that were passed from grandparents to children. Many of these stories teach important lessons or explain natural events. For example, we have legends about brave Cossacks, like Cossack Mamai, who represents freedom and wisdom. Our tales are also full of magical creatures like Mavkas, forest spirits, or Domovik, a house spirit. These characters come from ancient beliefs, but they are still present in modern books, songs, and even cartoons. Another key part of our culture is the Ukrainian language. It's known as one of the most melodic languages in the world. Many poets and writers admired its beauty, even though the language was banned many times in history, especially during the Soviet era, but it survived. And today, more and more people speak Ukrainian every day, write songs and books in it, and teach it to their children. It's not just a language, it's a symbol of identity and independence. Let's talk about Ukrainian art and music. Ukrainian folk art is very bright, detailed, and symbolic. One of the most famous styles is Petrikivka painting, which shows flowers, birds, and plants in vibrant colors. Each element has its own meaning, and everything is done by hand. In 2013, this art form was added to the UNESCO list of cultural heritage. And of course, we love music. From ancient folk songs to modern pop, Ukrainian music is so full of life. Our songs often talk about love, nature, freedom, and sadness. Famous Ukrainian musicians like Mykola Lysenko or modern bands like Onuka and Goa continue to bring our culture to the world stage. There is one thing that really stands out in Ukrainian culture. It's our spirit of freedom. Our people have survived wars, occupation, and many difficult periods, but we never gave up. We kept our language, land, and traditions alive. A great example is Taras Shevchenko, our national poet. He wrote deeply about love for Ukraine, about pain, and about the dream of freedom. Even today, during hard times, Ukrainians come together to protect our language, culture, and independence. We also have many beautiful cultural symbols. One of the most famous is the vyshyvanka, a traditional embroidered shirt. The patterns on it are not just decoration. They tell stories and are believed to protect the person wearing it. Another important symbol is the rushnik, a decorated towel used during weddings, religious events, or family rituals. And finally, the pisanka, the painted Easter egg, which symbolizes life, renewal, and hope. All of these are handmade and passed down from generation to generation. Finally, I want to say that Ukrainian culture is open and welcoming. For centuries, people from different backgrounds like Poles, Jews, Tatars, Armenians lived in Ukraine. They brought their own traditions and we created a rich and diverse cultural world together. This mix made Ukrainian culture more creative, tolerant, and vibrant. To sum up, Ukrainian culture is not just something from the past, it's alive. It lives in our language, our music, our traditions, and even in the way we celebrate life. It connects us to our ancestor and it helps us face the future with strength and unity. Thank you for listening.
Muskan, your mic is off.
So sorry. Thank you, delegates. It was a truly mesmerizing presentation. Next, we move on to presentations on solidarity, a tribute to power of unity during adversity and the strength of shared goals. Representing Indian delegation, we have the delegation from AGS Arjun Nagar campus, Nasik. We request the team to begin the presentations.
I want you all to take a moment and close your eyes and imagine a world where every hand reaching out is met with another, where every tear finds a shoulder and no one is ever truly alone. That world, that dream, it lives in one word, solidarity. Greetings to all. I am Nishant Tuklunde and with my friends Faisal and Rajeshwari, we are honored to represent the young voices from India, speaking from our hearts across borders to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, celebrating the values upheld by the United Nations. You see, solidarity isn't just about being together when it's easy. It's about showing up when it's hard. It's about whispering, you are not alone, even when we speak different languages. It's about standing not above each other, but beside each other. When disaster strikes, a flood, a war, a virus, we see how fragile the world is, but we also see how beautifully human we can be. Solidarity is not just a word for international conferences, it's a way of living. It's what gives us the strength to fight climate change together, to support peace across borders, to speak for justice, not just for ourselves, but for others. And in these difficult times, be it conflict, crisis, or climate, we need solidarity more than ever. Now, to share what has been India's role in promoting solidarity globally, here is my friend Rajeshwari.
Thank you, Nishan. Thank you, Nishan. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rajeshwari Patel, the delegate of Ashoka Universal Ajanagar. India, with its ancient principle of Vasundhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, has always placed solidarity at the heart of its global outlook. During the COVID-19 pandemic, India sent vaccines to over 100 countries, especially to nations that could not afford them. It was known as Vaccine Maitri or Vaccine Friendship. That was solidarity in action, saving lives across borders. When earthquakes shook Turkey, when floods drowned parts of Africa, when children lost homes in war-torn lands, Indian hands reached out to offer peace. India is also a founding member of the United Nations and contributes one of the largest contingents to UN peacekeeping missions, sending soldiers not to fight wars but to protect civilians and promote peace. 258,000 Indian troops have served in United Nations peacekeeping operations. Indian soldiers have worked in many countries around the world not to fight wars, but to protect people, bring peace, and rebuild lives after conflict. When war broke out in Ukraine in 2022, the world changed overnight. Sirens replaced school bells, families were forced to flee, students like us were stuck, scared, and unsure of what tomorrow will bring. India launched a massive rescue mission called Operation Ganga. Indian Air Force and civilian planes flew special evacuation flights to rescue not only Indians but also Nepalis and Bangladeshi citizens, a true sign of solidarity beyond borders. India, while maintaining a neutral stance in Russia Ukraine conflict, demonstrated its commitment to humanitarian values by sending multiple consignments of aid to Ukraine. This included medicinal equipments, blankets, and essential supplies delivered through airlifts. Through these efforts, India affirmed that solidarity means extending help where it is needed most, even amid complex geopolitical situations. But it does not stop at the international level. Solidarity begins at home, and in India, it is seen in everyday acts. Communities coming together to feed the poor, students teaching underprivileged children, and schools taking up causes that matter. Let us now take you to a place where we have seen solidarity come alive, our very own school, Years Faisal, to share how simple actions by students have made a big difference in our lives.
Thank you, Rajeshwari. Greetings to all. I am Faisal Khan, the delegate of AUS Arjun Nagar. All that I will share with you all is something very close to our hearts, something that made us feel the true meaning of solidarity. Our school has adopted a village, and as a part of this initiative, we, the students, run a school canteen every Saturday. From planning the menu to managing the counters, everything is handled by us, and all the profits are saved for a cause. We use that money to donate a desktop computer and a printer to the village school. Many of them had never used a computer before. When we saw their happy faces, we understood what true solidarity means. Sharing what we have so others can grow too. This experience taught us that solidarity is not just about giving things, it is about sharing opportunities. And that is not all. The spirit of giving continues throughout the years in many beautiful ways. The next act of kindness of our school takes part in happens during Diwali. Every year, Diwali. Every year during Diwali, our school celebrates the joy of giving week. We collect clothes, books, sweets, grocery, and toys and donate them to children in orphanages and nearby villages. It reminds us that festivals are not just about lights and gifts, but about spreading happiness to those who need it most. This is our way of sharing light, love, and solidarity with our larger community. And in giving, we found ourselves receiving something even more special: connection, joy, and friendship. But solidarity does not only happen through donations or events, because solidarity is not as sympathy, but as shared humanity. Recently, our school welcomed a group of unprivileged students for a special day of joy and togetherness. They played freely on our school grounds, danced with our students, sang songs, and exchanged ideas. In those shared moments, in laughter, rhythm, and simple conversations, we all learned that solidarity is not about giving from above, but walking hand in hand. They experienced the warmth of a well equipped school. We experienced the richness of their spirit. Sometimes it is as simple as sharing time, laughter, and stories, like our young students did during a special visit. Our primary students recently visited a blind school to interact with the children there. They shared ideas, stories, and even played simple games together. It taught us that everyone has something valuable to share, no matter their abilities. This experience showed us that solidarity means standing with others, learning from them, and making them feel seen and included. And one of the most colorful expressions of solidarity is seen during our annual Art Fest. For the past 9 years, the Ashoka Group of Schools has been organizing a beautiful event called the Art Fest. Students from all grades come together to showcase their talents through painting, sculpting, wood art, hand-stitched clothes bag, and handcrafted mud pots. The entire event is open to parents and community, and the artworks are often displayed and sold. What makes this festival truly special is that all the money collected is donated to NGOs that support education, healthcare, and environmental causes. It teaches us that art is not just for expression, it can be a way to bring change and hope to others. This annual celebration reminds us that solidarity means creating together, giving together, and growing together. Through all these small but meaningful acts, we have learned that solidarity begins with us, in our classrooms, our communities, and in the choices we make to lift others up. We want to say this: solidarity is not a duty of the powerful, but the
But the
power
power
of
of
united.
united. Let's build a world where compassion flows.
Let's mend the pain no one else knows.
Let's lift
Let's stand
each
in
voice.
solidarity.
Let's dry each tear. Let's
Let's
stand
stand
Let's
in
in
stand in
solidarity,
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 far
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 and
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 near.
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 Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Dyakuyu.
Dyakuyu.
Thank you, team. Following this, we have the delegation from License 55, Kharkiv, Ukraine, to present their thoughts. The platform is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Yehor Peshansky. I'm from Kharkiv Lyceum number 55, Ukraine. Today I'd like to talk about something very important, solidarity between students and how we show it in real life. My presentation is called Solidarity in Action, how we care, help and support each other. Let's see how friendship, teamwork and simple actions make a real difference. So what is solidarity? For us, it means unity, friendship, and support. It's more than helping during hard times. It's about being together every day. Solidarity means trust, care, and shared responsibility. At our school and in our community, it helps us build strong friendships and a safe, supportive environment. It brings us closer and teaches us how to understand and care for each other. We practice solidarity in our everyday school life. We go to libraries, zoos and other places together and join creative workshops. We organize holidays and fun events for our classmates. Many of these activities are planned and led by our students or government team. We learn how to act together and help each other as a team. That's how we grow, through unity, friendship and shared experiences. Since 2022, our school has become very active in volunteering. We believe that even small efforts can create big changes. Students, teachers and parents work together. We organize help for Ukrainian soldiers, internally displaced people and families in need. We all understand that solidarity means action and we are ready to act. Every package we send is a message that says you're not alone. We support our soldiers by sending both useful and emotional help. 154 trench candles to bring warmth, socks, warm clothes, hygiene items, sweets, tea, coffee, medicines and first aid items, also handmade charms, gifts and children drawings. And we collected over 15 kg of plastic caps for prosthetic limbs to support wounded defenders. Sorry. We work with many local and international partners. NGO Nadia Nazi, Saltivka volunteers, Red Cross of Kharkiv region, volunteers from Kozivka village, partners from Belgium, they send camouflage nets, boots and even holiday gifts for kids. And in April 2024, together with Saltivka volunteers, we supported a rehabilitation center for animals from frontline areas by sending food and supplies for cats. Because solidarity is not just about people, it's about all living beings. We also help many families and individuals who lost their homes or basic things. We send baby food and diapers for children under 3, hygiene items, clothes, shoes, toys and dishes, clean-up kits and towels for displaced families from Volchansk and Kupiansk. We help people affected by the Kakhovka dam disaster, because solidarity means standing with those who are in the hardest situations. Each year our school runs many special campaigns to support others. For example, a piece of warmth for soldiers. We collect socks, tea, sweets, advent calendar of kind acts, one good deed every day. From heart to heart, gifts, letters, handmade items, and Children for Soldiers, big student actions to support our defenders. Every campaign shows that students can really help, and we want to. So solidarity is not only about helping in big situations, it's also about friendship, trust and care in everyday life. At our school we support each other by going to libraries, learning together and joining master classes. These things help us feel connected. One kind action, one smile or one warm word, it really can mean a lot. We are still young, but we already make a difference when we work together. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Every act of kindness, every moment of support, it all matters. Let's keep standing together, helping each other, and believing in peace. Glory to Ukraine, glory to friendship and unity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, delegates, for such a compelling and well-articulated presentation. Now, we proceed to the theme, peace, the foundation of all friendships and the cornerstone of global harmony. Presenting the Indian delegation, we have the team from Ashoka Group of Schools, Sinna Campus, Nasik. Please take over the virtual stage.
Full screen, please. Thank you.
Respected delegates and fellow youth leaders, warm greetings from Ashoka Universal School, India. It is an honor to be part of the United Nations Friendship Day celebration. Today, I am here to reflect on a powerful force that transcends borders, cultures, and generations' peace. Let us explore how peace is more than a concept. It is a practice, a commitment, and most importantly, a bond that connects all of humanity. In our world today, peace is often misunderstood as merely the silence of guns or the end of conflict. But true peace is far deeper. Peace is when justice prevails, when rights are respected, when individuals and nations can coexist with dignity and empathy. It is a living expression of harmony in diversity, equality in action, and unity in purpose. At Ashoka Universal School, we teach our learners that peace begins in the mind and flows into the world through our actions.
Why do we celebrate peace on Friendship Day? Because friendship is the purest form of peace in actions. Friendship dissolves differences. It builds bridges of trust and communicate and connection. On this special day, we honor the friendship that cross cultures, beliefs, and geographies, reminding us the people when understand each other, peace becomes inevitable. Friendship is the foundation upon which peaceful societies are built. Sustainability in peace comes from continuity in relationships. When people form long-lasting, empathetic bonds across communities, faiths, and nations, they create network of understanding that prevents conflict and promote harmony. Country-to-country relationships built on dialogues, trades, education, and cultural exchange ensures that peace is not an event but a way of life. This is the essence of United Nations vision as we as youth must lead the way.
India's commitment to peace is both ancient and active. As the land of Mahatma Gandhi, India's ethos is rooted in non-violence, tolerance, and dialogue. India strengthens peace globally through proactive diplomacy that emphasizes dialogue over dispute, education initiatives that foster global citizenship and inclusivity, humanitarian support such as disaster relief, healthcare missions, and refugee aid. India's voice is in global forums is clear. Peace must be inclusive, sustainable, and rooted in mutual respect. Our government is investing in peace building at home and extending that commitment to the world. As a proud contributor to the United Nations peacekeeping forces, India has sent over 250,000 soldiers to maintain peace in conflict zones around the world. But our contribution goes beyond military aid. We promote spiritual and cultural diplomacy through initiatives like the International Day of Yoga, which brings together millions globally to practice inner peace. India's guiding philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, reflects our belief in shared humanity and peaceful coexistence. Our nation's actions reaffirm that peace is not only a responsibility, it is our identity.
Youth represents hopes, actions, and imagination. Peace is not a luxury of future, it is the foundation we need today to create safe learning spaces, inclusive communities, and thriving innovation hubs. When peace surrounds us, we can speak freely, learn openly, and collaborate boldly. Peace is not just a global agenda, it is the oxygen that young leaders need to flourish and shape a compassionate world. As a youth, we have immense power. Thought our words, choice, and networks. We bring peace when we stand up against bullying, hate, and injustice. Use social media to promote kindness and awareness. Volunteers in our community support mental health, equity, and environmental harmony. Peace is no longer just the job of diplomats, it is the moment of youth as we must lead it courage and creativity.
At Ashoka Universal School, peace is not just a subject, it is a practice. We teach value based education from early years, encourage international collaboration through exchange programs, celebrate diverse cultures to develop mutual respect, conduct peer mentoring programs to build trust and empathy across grades. Through activities, clubs, and daily interactions, we empower our students to live the values of peace, both locally and globally.
To conclude, I leave you the timeless words of Albert Einstein. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understandings. Let us strive to understand more, judge less, listen deeper, and act wiser. As the students, educators, and citizens of the world, let us begin the peace builders of our planet so urgently needs. On behalf of Ashoka Universal School, I thank you for this opportunity to share our voice at this global platform. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. And now, the Ukrainian delegation from Lyceum 55, Kharkiv, will present their reflections on peace. We invite you to continue.
Can you hear me well? Okay. Good morning to all the participants. My name is Sofia. I'm an 11th grade student from Kharkiv at 755, and today I will be sharing the topic about youth-led projects encouraging tolerance, conflict resolution, and peace education. So let's get started. How often do you think of peace? Quite often people might live in stability and safety and never think of it. But the truth is, we need to be more aware and proactive when it comes to shaping our collective peaceful future. Peace, tolerance, and conflict resolution are fundamental for building harmonious societies. Promoting these values helps prevent violence, reduces prejudice, and encourages understanding and cooperation. In our time, when peace in Ukraine is being defended in such a heavy price, understanding the need to build a strong architecture of peace and security in the world is more important than ever. We as youth play a key role in the formation of these values because we are the future leaders and active members of our communities. Through education, engagement in dialogue, and participation in initiatives, young people can promote values of mutual respect and create long-lasting change. I would like to start with tolerance. Tolerance is the first step for peaceful coexistence. We hear about it a lot, but what does it actually mean to tolerate something, and what do we need to tolerate? One can build the skill mostly from embracing people who differ. Different point of view, worldview, culture and customs, language or arts, and etc. And in order to communicate with different people, appropriate spaces and opportunities should be created for youth. On the photos, you can see examples of Kharkiv youth hubs, which provide such opportunities. For example, Kharkiv Diplomatic Club is a unique international platform that brings together diplomats, a representative of foreign countries, business associations, and cultural community. Kharkiv young people actively join the club, representing initiatives that promote the development of humanitarian and intercultural dialogue. And I couldn't agree more with how helpful the technology is in online cross-cultural communication. If not Zoom and other online platforms, I would have never experienced so many different cultures myself. For the past 2 years, I've practiced my English with people from all around the world, and it couldn't be possible without the technology. Another important aspect I would like to cover is peace education and how students can act as peace builders locally at their schools and communities. At the pictures, you can see the work of our students. It all starts from small class projects about peace, then goes to self-student government making conversations about peacekeeping with primary school children, and also we take part in city-level events and campaigns. School education about peace building also helps in spreading values of tolerance, peace conflict resolution, and acts and activity of the UN. For example, our Kharkiv Lyceum 55 teacher, Galina Yermolaeva, developed a pilot course on the basics of peacemaking, lessons of fair peacemaking. Pupils of the 5th grade were actively involved, and it was created within the framework of the international projects School of Peace and Young Peacemaker, which have been implemented by the NGO Union of UN Peacekeepers in cooperation with the Department of Education of the Kharkiv City Council. And why was it created? First of all, this course was designed to help students understand the role of the UN and peacekeepers around the world. The course teaches the values of peace, tolerance, and respect through interactive lessons and meetings with the real peacemakers from Kharkiv. It's especially important now during the war in Ukraine to raise awareness and support peace education among youth. This project also shows how Ukraine is contributing to global peace efforts. One more type of opportunity for youth are leadership programs and youth projects funding. This support is really valuable for those willing to take initiative. Sponsoring youth projects helps teenagers to drive change in their communities. Motivated teenagers can realize whatever project in their city or town they want, and it could be on peace-building topic as well. Now, let's talk about how students can encourage peace through diplomatic dialogue. Kharkiv students do not stand aside. They try to make a difference, so representing our country in the international space. As part of the European tour in 2022, including students of our school, they visited several countries with a peacemaking purpose, with the final destination being the UN office in Geneva, Switzerland. This trip was under the earlier mentioned School of Peace and Young Peacemaker. It is an awesome opportunity for teenagers aged 16 and 17 to make a positive change, feel the sense of purpose in their actions, and feel like real UN workers. And the last but not least, international programs. Programs like Erasmus+, short-term exchanges and volunteering, Peace Feast, Model United Nations, and others are perfect opportunities for bringing together youth from diverse countries and cultures, promoting tolerance, active listening, and mutual understanding. Model United Nations itself simulates real-world challenges and international cooperation, encourage critical thinking and peaceful conflict resolution. And overall, these programs empower youth with skills they need to foster peaceful mindset into their communities. And in conclusion, I would like to say that empowering young people to lead peace and tolerance initiatives is not just a noble goal, it is a necessary step towards building inclusive, resilient societies. We are youth that is empowered to drive change, and we can do this. By supporting and promoting youth-led projects, we invest in a more peaceful future, one where diversity is respected, dialogue is valued, and every voice is heard. And that's where my presentation was leading to. Thank you for your attention, and thank you so much.
Thank you, delegates. Up next is the theme of international relations, a crucial aspect of cross-cultural collaboration and diplomacy. Representing the Indian delegation, we have the delegation from Ashoka Group of Schools, Ashoka Mark Campus. Kindly proceed with your presentations.
Muskan, as you speak, please see to that you check with the mic system, because there is every time that sound is coming in. Thank you.
I'm Janvi Kulkarni, representing the Indian delegation. I'm Janvi Kulkarni, representing the Indian delegation from Ashoka Group of Schools, Ashoka Mark Campus, sharing a few words on international relations. Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka. Namaste and warm greetings to everyone present. It's truly an honor to be here today, not just as a representative of a country, but as a citizen of a world that is so beautifully diverse yet deeply connected. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, a Sanskrit phrase that means the world is one family. These aren't just words, they are a way of life, a philosophy, a vision that has guided human values for centuries. And today, in a world that often finds itself divided by borders, ideologies, and differences, this ancient thought really connects us together and feels more relevant than ever. To see every human being, regardless of their race, belief, or background, as a part of single global family is not an idealistic dream. It's a necessary shift. Because just like in any family, we may not always agree, but we listen, we respect, and we grow together. Vasudeva Kutumbakam urges us to place ego before empathy, cooperation before competition, and dialogue before division. It challenges us to build bridges and not walls, to not just to coexist, but to truly connect. And perhaps on this International Friendship Day, that's the reminder we all need that international relations aren't just built on policies and framework. They are built on simple human values of trust, compassion, and shared hope. Because when we begin to see the world not as us and them, but as we, that is when true peace, compassion, progress, and partnership begins. Now, to continue the further presentation, I would like to call upon my fellow partner, Shakir.
Thank you, Janvi, for introducing me. Namaste and warm greetings to all. India's journey in international relations began with non-alignment and self-reliance, a young nation which was focused inward, rebuilding with resilience. This built a strong foundation, but also revealed a deeper truth. No country thrives alone. Over time, India opened up economically, emotionally, and diplomatically. We realized global partnerships aren't about dependence, but about shared strength. Collaboration doesn't divide power, it multiplies it. Take Ukraine. Though far apart, we have quietly built strong ties, especially in medicine and education. Ukrainian universities have trained thousands of Indian doctors. And during the Ukraine crisis, Operation Ganga evacuated over 22,000 Indians thanks for Ukraine's cooperation. That's what matters the most in friendship. Though such partnerships, India hasn't just contributed, we have evolved because real diplomacy is built not on paper but on people, in trust, empathy, and shared futures. Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to my co-delegate Srinath.
Thank you, Shakir. An aspect which defines the relations of a country is the extent to which it engages with the world. India proudly displayed this aspect with the hosting of the G20 summit of 2023, wherein delegates from all across the globe assembled in India with a warm welcome waiting for them as they experienced the finest displays of immersive experiences, performances, and workshops. It is a common belief that nothing can connect two people together the way that food does. I had a Ukrainian friend in school who once bought a container full of polupsi, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, for his lunch. After that day, every person became best friends with him. And when it comes to Indian cuisine, little and less has to be said. It is well known that Indian cuisine is one of the most flavorful cuisines in the world. And does it not bring people together? In recent times, a significant step towards global engagement of India can be spotted in Ed Sheeran, the English pop artist's song Sapphire, where he collaborated with Indian singer Arjit Singh. Another significant step is the joint composition of Hans Zimmer, a global sensation for his musical scores, and A.R. Rahman, a legendary Indian composer. Now I would like to pass on the stage to Shaka.
Thank you, Srinath. Mutual aid, a path to shared progress. Throughout history, India has not only stood as a symbol of resilience, but as a nation deeply committed to mutual care and global progress. In times of crisis, whether earthquakes in Asia, floods in Africa, or the global COVID-19 pandemic, India has reached out with compassion. Initiatives like Vaccine Maitri delivered life-saving vaccines to over 90 countries. But here's what often Here's what often goes unnoticed. India too has received as much as it has given. Take Ukraine, for instance. In 2024, India and Ukraine signed multiple memoranda of understanding focused on medicine, cultural exchange, education, and humanitarian aid, strengthening institutional ties. The Ukrainian foreign minister's visit to India underscored the commitment to deepening diplomatic and development oriented cooperation. India conducted the evacuation. Ukraine facilitated and supported it, showing that aid works both ways. What this shows is simple yet powerful. Aid is never one sided. Every act of giving aid builds a bridge, and every bridge leads to shared learning, trust, and transformation. Because in the end, global development isn't about who helps more, it's about how we grow together. When nations support each other through knowledge, empathy, and action, we move closer to a world where crises are met not with fear, but with solidarity. Together, let's keep showing up, let's keep helping, and let's keep growing. Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to my co-delegate, Srinath.
You're on mute. Srinath, please take over. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Sorry, we can't hear you. Srinath, we can't hear you.
Sorry for the issues. Trade is but an aspect which defines in the most fundamental yet sophisticated of levels the relations a country has with another, for which is a bond so firm that can glue countries together, such as to outdo in all its glory the beauty present in trade between two countries. And hence, I set out to define the actions which are taken by India to ensure that trade does not fail or falter, but rather age like wine, only growing with time. The first such action is the India-European Free Trade Agreement signed in 2024, leading to a 95.3% reduction in tariffs on goods from EFTA nations and a promise of $100 billion in investments over the next 15 years. Similarly, trade with ASEAN bloc of nations has flourished. Indian exports rose by 23%, while imports from countries belonging to the ASEAN bloc grew by 55%. India's investment in the international North-South transport corridor opens efficient trade paths to Eurasia, symbolizing not just movement of goods, but of intention and friendship. Other trade-related pacts and groups which India is involved in include Quad and BRICS. The India-Pacific Islands Forum furthers these bonds, bridging Indian businesses to Oceania while offering those nations access to a dynamic Indian market. Now I request Janvi to take over the presentation.
Well, thank you, Srinath. Speaking of international relations and Ashoka Group of Schools perspective on it, then at Ashoka Universal School, we believe that education isn't just about books, it's about building bridges. For the past 6 years, we have proudly hosted Ashoka Model United Nations, also known as AMAN, giving students a platform to debate global issues on and step into the shoes of global world leaders. We have also organized multiple global parliaments and G20 events, encouraging young minds to think beyond borders. But our journey doesn't stop there, does it? with 3 consecutive years of student exchange programs in Geneva and Vienna, our students had the incredible opportunity to represent India and connect with global culture and ideas. These efforts aren't just events on a calendar. They are steps towards shaping the global future, ready to lead with understanding and empathy. That's how Ashoka is strengthening international relations. Thank you, Dhanyavad. Now, here, I, with my fellow delegates, take our leave and hand over the floor to the next delegation. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. Following them, we now invite License 55 to present their take on international relations. You may begin.
Use visions for cross-cultural cooperation, diplomacy, and international volunteer exchanges. Hi, I'm Yaroslav, and I come from Ukraine, a country that, despite facing great challenges, remains deeply open to the world. For us, intercultural cooperation is not just about curiosity or learning new languages. It's about survival, support, and shared values unite people across borders. Ukrainian youth are active, creative, and ready to take responsibility. In schools and universities, young people organize events, lead campaigns, and support their communities. Many of us take our first steps into volunteering locally and then reach out to the world. Thousands of Ukrainian students join international programs like Erasmus+, eTwinning, Project School of Peace, Young Peacemaker. This experience shapes how we see ourselves as global citizens. Alongside official programs, there are countless grassroots efforts. We help displaced families, care for elderly, run charity events, and create art or media that connects people. Every local action can become a global message, especially in the times of war. The QR codes in the corner are the sources where you can find more information about the topic. In 2022, Ukraine launched a humanitarian initiative called Grain from Ukraine, sending our grain to countries in Africa and Asia suffering from hunger. Even in their hardest times, Ukrainians chose to share. That's not just politics, it's human solidarity in action. Russia's full-scale invasion caused huge damage, not only inside Ukraine but across the world. Russian forces have attacked our ports and blocked ships carrying food, directly worsening our global hunger crisis. Yet we keep trying to help. We adapt, we rebuild, and we persist. Intercultural exchange teaches us to listen, to respect, and to find common grounds. As young people from different countries, we may speak different languages, but we often dream about the same things: peace, purpose, and a better future for everyone. Ukraine doesn't want to be seen as the only country at war. We are artists, students, inventors, and friends. We believe in sharing ideas, stories, and support. Let's keep building bridges, because the more we understand each other, the stronger we will become. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, dear delegates. Your efforts have truly added great value to today's session. And now, we open the platform for a vibrant interaction session. Let the youth of India and Ukraine share their voices, questions, and reflections. You have 10 minutes to engage, learn, and bond across borders.
I would also suggest the Australian delegation to also join in this open platform. So if you have any questions or any interactions, please go ahead with. Thank you. Anyone to open the platform? Any delegation? Please go ahead. Let's have the observers to begin with. We have an Australian delegation out here, so you can come up with your, maybe, you can open this platform with your question. Just mention which particular delegation you would like to ask this question. Thank you. Today's youth need to be open speakers and not shy. So please open your mics. This platform is for the youth who are present here. There are quite a old people like us sitting around, but I want the youth to speak up. Thank you.
Hi, just speaking like to both the Indian and Ukraine students. We just want to ask like how has working with more like international programs, how has that helped you like understand how important it is for us to engage in these kind of things?
It's a great question. I think both the delegation can answer it, right? Anyone who would like to start with from the Indian delegation side?
Sir, could I
Geet,
speak?
would you like to answer? Yeah, please.
Yes, so I really appreciate your question, and I would like to share something a little personal, like about my own experience. So I had been a student who represented the Indian delegation in 2023 for the UN Peacekeepers Conference. And for me personally, when I went there, I really realized that, the world is really big and there are so many problems and there are so many issues. And the only way that we can potentially solve or combat these solutions is to unite together, and it really like invoke a passion of geopolitics, international relations in me. And ever since then, I've just been so keen on learning more about this. And I just feel like a lot of students are so unaware or so oblivious to the problems or the global issues that are surrounding us. And thus I feel like it's really important that everybody is aware of such topics.
Great. Yaroslav, you can take over.
Yeah, from my perspective, yeah, Ukraine in this time often needs help with humanitarian stuff, but in other parts we can give other countries food and other items that we can share. And it's important to understand that and do that, that Ukraine is not just a taker. It's a, I would say, giver too. It gives and helps another countries as same as other countries helps us in the hard times, thus helping each other and making each other better.
Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please, from any delegation. Please don't be shy. That will not work when we are sitting for the conference. Yeah.
We have another question. So I'm just wondering, I find sometimes in Australia, because we're so isolated, the general like youth can be quite unaware about issues such as this. And I was just wondering, how do you guys, both delegations, think that is the best way to make people more aware of these issues and promoting global friendship?
Anyone? You can raise your hand and we can give you a chance. Anyone from both the delegations? Indian, Ukraine delegation, anyone would like to answer?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah. Sorry. So how do you think is the best way to make the youth in general more aware of these issues and how important it is to bring people together through international friendship?
Yes, Sophia.
From my perspective as a Ukrainian delegate, I think speaking and discussion groups are the best opportunities for youth, like from the informal side. Speaking groups and discussion groups for both for learning languages and just for speaking are the best ways to raise awareness, because you yourself engage in dialogue and you can raise awareness, you can talk with different people, and you can present both your values and your country. From the formal, more formal events like this conference, it is perfect to raise awareness, as you said, about different intercultural activities, about our diplomatic topics. So this type of events are the best opportunities to raise awareness from my point of view. And also some posts in media, social media also can play a huge role.
Okay. Before I hand over to Geet and Yaroslav, do we have any other students also speaking on this from the Indian delegation? I don't want the same student to be continuing on answering. Let's take this opportunity by every student present here to give an answer or to present their own sides. Anyone from Indian delegation other than Geet? Okay, Geet, you can answer.
I would like to second to what Sophia said about social media. I feel like social media is such a primary source of information these days because people our age, like this age criteria, all of us are active in social media and we have some sort of social media. So I feel like the best way for our voices to be heard is social media. Like whatever you see, we should keep on posting and we should keep on raising awareness about such topics. And like she said about formal events like these, we should try to attend, youth summits and conferences and all these platforms that can help level our voices and so that we can be heard on an international level. So I feel like these, methods can be taken for spreading of information.
Great. Yes, Yaroslav.
I agree with Jeet and Sophia about that answers, but I can say that we should not just talk about the problems. We should also talk about our solutions to the problems. For example, India's story with vaccine or Ukrainian story with food. Simply, there is often times when one country have big problems with something, and sadly, that country cannot just magically create a solution for that. But other country can help, and that's extremely powerful example. And it's not just talking about a problem; it's about talking and doing actual resolution that can help and will help. And obviously, it's an extremely powerful example for a child who just received some help from actually another country, which he cannot possibly, or she cannot possibly been taken from just that country. It's extremely powerful examples to show it, and it's already, for me at least, motivating and great examples to understand that problems should be and will be solved with friendship and help from other countries.
Thank you. Thank you. Any further questions from other delegations in India, Ukraine? I say it again, if you're going to be shy, it will not work on such platforms. You need to speak. I want some new faces also to say it because I could see only Yaroslav and Geet, or from Australian delegation, we have a couple of communication happening. What about the other students from Ukraine and India? Students from other campus, please. Yes, Yaroslav, you can ask the question as you have been answering for quite a long time now. So you can go ahead with your question now.
Thank you. How can young people from different countries work together effectively to achieve common goals within the framework of global citizenship and friendship?
Brilliant. Would Australian delegation like to answer this?
Do you want to go? I can say. So I don't know, we can try work together with young people, like adding on to the point before with like the social media as well. Because in Australia we're quite isolated from everyone else. We don't hear a lot about issues and topics around this. So I think it's important to promote these kind of things to make people aware still because the issues kind of gone a bit under the radar. So less people are aware of it. And I think that's an important way that we can do it. And joining and hosting meetings like one of these is also very important. Shannon. I think also like just having constantly, for the more general public, having information just like blasted at them and it's just facts, facts, facts. Sometimes it can really make people quite desensitized. So I think maybe just approaching it more creatively on occasion, like some of this work that the Ukrainian and Indians have been doing is obviously fantastic and taking a step in that direction. And I think just in promoting that a bit more could be quite effective.
Yeah, and it's like obviously, especially in Australia, just because it's that like lack of closeness to the issues and that just that sense of isolation. I think if we, just speaking of us, if we were able to really see all that, like if it was promoted more in a way that like it's relevant to us, like then I think it would encourage a lot more people to actually get involved with it and look into it and see what they can do as long like once they know really know what's happening, because we hear versions of it but it's not always the real truths that people are facing every day.
Yeah, so just to help create a united place like we were talking about before. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. For anyone from the Indian delegation would like to, yes, Muskan.
I have a question.
You need to check with your mic. Every time you speak, there is a, yeah. Go ahead.
What other delegates think that the role of young people is in shaping their international relations?
Could you say it again, please, if you don't mind? Yeah.
What other delegates or the delegation from other countries think that what is the role of young people in shaping their country's international relations?
Yes. Anyone from Ukraine or Australia? Yes, there is always the best part I love is that Yaroslav is always ready to answer. So that's excellent to see that. And also Sophia, wonderful. But what about the other students? I could see quite a number of faces out here. Come on, students. It's a beautiful opportunity for each one of you out here. Yes, let's have Sophia to begin with.
Thank you. First of all, we are future leaders and active members of our communities. So that's why it is really important to include youth as well in the diplomatic dialogue and international exchanges. And in our age of the youth, it is quite important to engage in different educational opportunities as well as international exchanges. It is extremely important for young people to develop these values of international dialogue and of open dialogue with other people. So it is extremely important for young people.
Great. What about the Australian delegation?
Yeah, so as like the original question was, yeah, so we're like the future of this world and you know and in this generation, like it's important to understand how as youth we influence quite a lot of people because we're in that age where we're still trying to find ourselves and
You'll often like believe what someone else believes, and like if we can get to a place where there's more education of what we will need to do in our future to make a better world, then it rubs off, I guess, and we can all kind of collaborate in that way to create like a new culture where everyone can be educated and everyone can understand what's really happening and what we really need to do.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Just sort of also agreeing with Sophia about just including the youth in diplomacy and in making big decisions, or at least causing them to like get quite a well-rounded view of the world and what they think. And I think we can definitely encourage that also through like sort of just dialogue between nations, both informal and formal, and especially through social media. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Yaroslav.
Well, again, I will talk about more practical approach, I would say, because most of the times about diplomacy, I've heard about memorandums and all the, I would say, diplomacy things. But I think that the most, the best approach will be through practical. For example, other countries funding the restoration of theater of or a church, or doing something actually, or not a big project, but something practical and something which typical person from that city or from that country can actually see and understand what that country can offer and offered, and that we can do something for them too. For example, giving out food or helping with space stuff, for example, some launching some satellites, for example. So we can actually do some things that will matter for not just diplomacy, but for country and typical average citizens too.
Great. Faisal, you want to have a question or you want to answer?
I want to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, like young people always like play an important role in shaping international relations, like by building friendships, like we are doing right now, and across borders, learning about different cultures and promoting peace and respect through exchange programs, social media and global and cooperation between countries. Our voices and actions also play and can inspire positive change in the world.
Okay, great. I see a couple of new faces who have raised their hands. Let's go with from Ukraine. We have Yehor. You can go ahead with it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have a question both for Australian and Indian delegations. The question is, how does your community show solidarity in times of, for example, natural disasters or other hard times?
That's a very good question and very important question in today's world. Anyone from the Indian delegation or Australian delegation would like to answer?
Yeah.
You know, Australians are
About
always ready. That's fantastic. Go ahead.
um we like, especially where we are, think the biggest times where we kind of rally together are definitely natural disasters recently, like cyclones. And it's often like it's like community-led projects to like help clean up someone's house or help go like restore an area. And it's like we get told like through our school or through social media. And like I think right now for us, that's like the biggest thing that we like kind of do together, especially within our personal communities.
Yeah, like we have lots of natural like disasters like bushfires and floods, and recently we had a cyclone Alfred, which lots of our friends and families' houses got like flooded, and we didn't have school for I don't know, like about a week. So really as a community, we like gathered to help clean up and make sure that everyone like was safe, because we didn't have power for like my family personally didn't have power for like 3 or 4 days. So so we just helped each other as a community, and we really came together in our area.
Yeah. And I think also definitely within schools, like all of the other delegations have sort of talked about, we have at our school quite a big sort of charity like program, and we do like sleep outs and work for the homeless and charity groups. And I think just definitely there's such an importance of keeping it like encouraging it within schools, which is where the youth will spend most of their time when they're sort of in their formation years, just to sort of like stress the importance of looking out for one another and promoting friendship.
Yeah.
Great. Yes, Arnavi.
So I wanted to ask a question. My question is that will solidarity still survive even when the nations will prioritize themselves?
If the solidarity will still survive, what was the next thing?
Even when the nations will prioritize themselves.
If the nations will prioritize themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly you wish to know? Could you little elaborate on it? Arnavi? I guess we lost her. Yes, Yaroslav, go ahead.
Well, it's a somewhat really hard question, but I would say logical standpoint, just international cooperation brings much more than just working by yourself, because group is always stronger than just one person or one country or one continent. So intercultural cooperation is critical, and by now, where economy is based on intercultural cooperation, just closing up your country is extremely hard thing to do. And with these times where democracy is mostly ruled in most of the countries, it's all much harder to do to close up your country. So I think uh, international cooperation will be, and it will be stronger and it will be better, because with each year we just understand more and more how much powerful and important that is.
Great. Australian delegation would like to answer, right? Because I want to go with the final question.
Yes, we'd like to answer. Well, I guess the question being like, will nations always come back to solidarity even when they, have to put themselves first at times? Like, that's always going to happen. Like, there are always going to be things and like that will cause nations to have to prioritize themselves. But it's like the resilience of that and the coming back together that just proves like the strength of international relations. Like, you will need to rely on other nations, other countries when you're going through those times of hardship. So I think it it will always have to persevere, because like you need support, you need that support to get through those times that make you need to focus on your people and your nation, your country.
Yeah. And I think even just all of us, like the students being here, is such a testament to the hope that we're trying to create in international relationships and solidarity. And I think that if we just are trying to encourage the youth like us to be pursuing this, then I think that it will always have its place.
Yeah, I agree.
Great. Due to time restraint, we need to go with last question. I see three people raising their hands from the Indian delegation. Even Sophia is raising the hand. Okay, I give one chance for the Indian delegation and one from the Ukrainian delegation to go ahead with, and then we proceed for the conclusion of the session because the time restraint is there. Sorry. Yes, so let's have the Sophia asking it first and then moving to the Indian delegation. Thank you. Yes, Sophia.
Okay, thank you. And my question was, what kind of peace building is practiced in India that you think would be nice to acquire for young people in other countries? And what peace building practices are unique and exist in India only? Question for Indian delegation.
Can you repeat it again, please, if you don't mind, Sophia?
Yes. What kind of peace building is practiced in India that you think would be nice to acquire for young people in other countries? And what peace building practices are unique and exist in India only?
Yes, that's a wonderful question. About the peace building practices that are been taken care in Indian counterpart, and you would like to share it to the other delegation. Arjun Nagar, would you like to answer or you want to question? You have a question. Okay. Geet, you can answer it, please.
So, when talking about practices or terms that are unique to India, I would say ahimsa, which is non-violence, which is preached by Mahatma Gandhi. It's like one of his key principles. So it basically talks about non-violence, and we also have a non-violence day on October 2nd that is dedicated to him and his principles. So basically, we basically preach the idea that non-violence is like violence is never the solution, and everything should be communicated through an act that is not of aggression. And I feel like that concept is really unique to India. And secondly, when addressing how we continue with peace building activities outside of India, we constantly do have exchange programs like Rotary, the Club of Rotary in India. It keeps on organizing exchange programs for sending, Indian students to other countries. So I feel like that really establishes peace, and also that we do contribute to peace building in United Nations in terms of military and also awareness building. So that those are like ways that India contributes to peace building.
Thank you, Geet. I see five hands coming up now. It's only one answer which I can take from any one of you. Anyone would like to begin with?
Sir, can I?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is to Ukrainian delegation. As we
No,
share
no,
the
I'm not
peace,
going to take the question. Sorry. I said anyone would like to answer because of the time restraint, we have to stop going ahead with the questions now. So if you would like to answer the question that was been raised about the peace building or the activities that Indian delegation has been doing it. No? Okay, all right. Um, One last question from mentors who are present here. If you would like to ask the three delegation students who are present here. So anyone from the mentors, if you would like to have maybe Mariam or Eric or maybe Natalia, anyone from you would like to have one question to all the three delegations. Thank you. Any mentor?
I can ask a question. So I don't know to what extent young people are aware of the existence of human rights. You're all students, and it's an international declaration that has been signed by many countries in the United Nations. And what we see in in the universe, in practicality, how is this applied? Then yeah, you actually shiver because it's really incredible how human rights are violated in different areas of the world. And how do the young people look at that? Do they have an education and awareness about application of human rights, or is this vague, or do you think it's not possible to apply them, and how do you see this in the future?
Very important question. And today's youth, you should be aware about the human rights on the multiple levels. So I will request all the three delegations to give their views on the human rights. Yes, Yaroslav, go ahead.
Well, human rights is one of the, I would say, tombstones of humanity. It's one of the most important parts of the civilized humanity, and that's is the main part that is defining us from just animals. And because we are civilized, we are smart, and we can actually do much, much more than just uh, do wars with each other. We can actually be with each other with a friendship and go farther, explore, for example, other planets, or just make our planet better. And without human rights, that's like a first, I would say, step to that. That's a first brick for that. So it's simply impossible without human rights and appliance to human rights.
Thank you. Australian delegation.
Yeah, I think for us it's a bit different, I guess, because we're definitely aware of human rights as a concept and like obviously what it entails, but I don't think we really get to experience like what it means to not have it. Like, yeah, I think we're quite a like blessed and protected country in which we don't necessarily have to deal with as much human rights compared to other places. We're quite protected by it in a way, especially where we live. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of it.
yeah, so I think our education of it here and like how we implement it isn't quite I guess, effective, especially in like on an international scale, because I don't think we have much education about it, because like nobody ever quite raises it as an issue here. But like it would be great in the future if like our youth here were able to understand it, and how lucky we are, and how like
And how privileged we are.
privileged we are to have it.
And I do think definitely it's really crucial to be educating it from an early age, because that's how we're going to get future leaders who are aware of human rights and human rights violations and are happy to or are passionate more about sort of stepping into those roles where they can help protect them globally.
Thank
All
you.
right. Before we go for the Indian delegation, Sergey, you have something to say. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Thanks for real unique opportunity for this platform. Communication three continents is really unique. Thanks for Ashoka Group for this opportunity. And I wish to add it plus to four humanitarian principles is need to remember for humanitarian and peacemaker organization. The main thing is remember on four humanitarian principles. Keep these minds in mind. Humanity, neutrality, independently, impartiality, independence. Four humanitarian principles. It means desire the prevent of violence, human suffering, protect this life of the people, and respect the human destiny. The principles imply the humanitarian should be provided and who need it, regardless of circumstances. So just remember, this is a four humanitarian principle. We all people who live on these years. Thank you.
Thank you. Geet and Sophia, you have been answering quite a number of questions. So let me give some new faces out here. What I see is Srinath. Would you like to answer? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my idea about human rights is that according to the United Nations, there are 30 basic articles, each of which contain one major human right. So they include things like right to equality, right to education, free speech, free to practice any religion, and so on. And I believe that these targets are very achievable if every country, every person from every country agrees towards achieving these common goals about human rights. Then we can take a step forward and we can bring real change. This can be seen when the whole globe coming together and achieving things. It can be seen during the COVID times when the whole world was concerned about the outspread of coronavirus and about preventing its further spread and decreasing its effects. And we saw people from all over the world create vaccines and communicate together, interact together for a better future. And we did fight against COVID-19 and we got brilliant results. So if the whole world comes together and if we work towards achieving these basic human rights, I think the world will become a really better place.
Thank you, Srinath. Yes, to final conclude on this answer, Sophia, and then we move ahead with Muskan to conclude on the, thank you speeches, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. About human rights, nowadays in Kharkiv, human rights are being challenged. As the previous person said, it is right for education, right for peace, and for so many more in the declaration. It is, and all of those rights are being challenged now in Kharkiv. We don't have the right. No, we have the rights, but they are being challenged because of the war, because of the because all the problems that have arisen. But students also try to make a difference. We donate, for example, we've donated some clothes and food for people who have needed to move from the really dangerous places to Kharkiv. We've donated clothes, we've donated food. Also, students regularly make some donations for other organizations. We try to help, and we are aware of human rights. We have different lessons and classes about it. So it is being talked about in Kharkiv with students. It is extremely important to raise awareness through education, but also through actions. And we try to maintain the human rights in our city.
Thank you, Sophia. Muskan, you can take over, please, for the thank you speeches. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, delegates. It was a very vibrant session. As we move towards the conclusion, we express our heartfelt gratitude. We now invite Saina O'Callaghan from Mount St. Michael's College, Australia, who has joined us today as an esteemed observer, to deliver a message of appreciation.
Good morning and good afternoon to esteemed guests and our friends around the world. We are from Mount St. Michael's College in Australia. We would just like to say thank you so much for hosting us. We are truly honoured and humbled to participate in this important initiative of International Friendship Day. To be part of a cause that brings people together across borders and forge meaningful connections, especially alongside dedicated participants from India and Ukraine, it is both a privilege and an honour that we are very grateful for. In times when the world often feels divided, this important opportunity reminds us of the strength found in unity, compassion, and collective action. We've seen every single person bringing a unique perspective shaped by our unique cultures and experiences, and we're excited to learn from and work with such inspiring individuals to achieve solidarity in an unstable world.
We've learned so much from hearing about the beautiful cultures and peace work of India and Ukraine, alongside how solidarity and compassionate international relations can remind us all of the ways that we can increase global friendship and participation. We are so truly thankful to have been able to take part in such a meaningful experience and be part of a brighter future for all the youth of our generation.
Getting to hear all of your incredible insights and personal stories has been so inspiring for us, and we are so incredibly grateful to have been able to be a part of this conversation and be given the opportunity to use the advice you have provided us. We hope to take what we have learnt today and work proactively to strive for peace and connection, promoting friendship throughout the world. We would like to thank Dr. Dinesh Sabnis, Miss Renuka Joshi, Miriam Zonekin, and our inspiring presenters, students, and friends from Ukraine and India who aspire to achieve a better connected world hand in hand with all of us. And lastly, but certainly not least, we would like to say a huge thank you to Mr. Serhii Samolev, who continues to work hard for peace, giving us the opportunity to be a part of this important conversation during a time of such conflict and divide in the world, where young people often don't get the opportunity to voice their opinions. We are grateful for your continual support and inspiring actions in achieving global solidarity and peace. With thanks, we look forward to future collaborations where we can work meaningfully to create a difference. May the friendship live on. Happy International Friendship Day!
Thank you for enlightening us with your perspective. We are truly grateful for your time. Joining from the international front, we now invite Mr. Eric Dawkin, UN Peacekeeper, veteran and leader of the Travel for Peace initiative, to share his closing message.
Thank you very much, also Mr. Dinesh and all students. I'm a Norwegian citizen. I live in Germany, and that has one reason. Norway is not part of the European Union, but we are, of course, part of Europe. I have been a peacekeeper 2 times, and I also serviced with members from Australia, Ukraine, and India. So in this memory, I have good memories. What I do now is to bring young people in your age from Norway to Germany and Poland. Every school has the right of taking 2 weeks of their school year and bring them out of the country or inside the country. And the program is human rights refreshing. We are visiting former sites from the Second World War, because the Second World War in Germany is still a kind of impressive part of doing discussions. And it was that who created the human rights in 1948 anyway. So I would suggest what many of you have said, to travel and to meet other students or you go by a group yourself, everything has a good element of friendship between countries and nations. I wish you very much good luck, and I am very thankful to have learned a lot today with you. Thank you.
Yes, Muskan, you can take over.
Thank you, sir, for such grateful words. Representing the Indian delegation, we invite Dr. Dinesh Sabnis, AGM, Sports and Activities, Ashoka Group of Schools, and representative to UNOG for WFDP to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Muskan. First of all, let me congratulate each one of you who is present here. It was such a fantastic session, and especially where we went with the interaction. The way it is said in the International Friendship Day, it was started itself in 2011 from the a view to have the connectivity of cross culture and human connection that can be built in between the nations to nations, youth to youth, and the multicultural people around the world. It is very important that we all understand the importance of all the UN international days that have been celebrated out there. The list that we have in the UN international days, every international day has a meaning. And today's youth, it is important that the way Mariam told, it's important that we know about the human rights, human values. It is also important for today's youth to understand the concepts of peace, because what we are seeing at the moment with so many conflicts and situations that are arising out there in the world, it's you youth who will be able to bring all the youths together, work towards the right platform, work towards the right message of peace, a sustainable peace that need to be developed by you youths out there. We have almost covered our life, but you are the ones who are the future of the world, and it's important that you guys come together through online platform, offline platform. The way Eric said, he has been taking the delegations from Norway to Germany and vice versa. We have been doing in India, we have been doing this for last 4 years now, where we are taking the delegations to Geneva, we have been taking the delegation to Vienna. And again, this October, we are going to be in Geneva. So it's very important that today's youth are able to understand the global platform, able to understand the importance of peace, humanity, human rights, and that can be channelized for having the sustainable peace. This platform was for that reason, and there will be multiple platforms that will be built in future, online and offline. We look forward to Ukraine delegation to come to our country. I know at this moment it is difficult, but in near future, I look forward to that. I will be more than happy if the German delegation or the Norway delegation is going to come in India, or we get a chance to visit you. Same is with the Australian delegation. So we look forward, we are open for the possible online and offline platforms to be with you, so that the knowledge of international relations, knowledge of diplomacy, knowledge of global governance reaches to each youth out there. To end with, it's very important that to make this program successful, I wish to thank, first of all, our principal of Ashoka Mark Campus, Renuka ma'am, who is present here. I wish to sincerely thank, and without the support of the management, all other heads and the coordinators who worked, whether it's Meda ma'am or Joseph sir, even there are multiple coordinators. Forgive me if I have not taken your name, but please, without you, it would have not been possible, right? I can't end my speech without thanking Sophia and Sergey. They are like a backbone. They are always standing there. We always look forward whenever we get a chance to meet in Geneva or any other part of the world. We look forward for the platforms for the youth. And Mariam, we are looking forward for the possible Belgium delegation, or Eric, from the Norway or German delegation, which if we can have a connect through online or offline possibilities. So thank you once again. We look forward for the upcoming online program, which we will be aligning for one of the International Day. We will get back to Sergey, and through Sergey, probably Sergey or Sophia, we can reach to other delegations. So thank you once again, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are deeply grateful for your words. Before we conclude, let us capture this memorable event with a group picture. We request all participants to switch on their cameras and smile together for peace, unity, and friendship.
You all can take it, and same with the IT team. You're requested to please take a beautiful picture out there. All are requested to keep their cams on. Everyone out there, please. And I don't have to say, on Friendship Day, the smile is important, right? Thank you. Nitin, once done, let us know. Nitin, are you there?
Yes, sir. We are taking a picture.
Okay. We can also go like this, right? Yeah. Are you done, Nitin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was such a wonderful session. Looking forward. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Muskan, you want to end something with any
Thank
speech
you,
or
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mariam and Eric and Sophia out here. So we look forward for the possible onlines. Do get in touch with us if it is possible, and let's connect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the invitation. It was really inspiring.
Pleasure. Pleasure.